Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the North Shore 9 podcast presented by FanDuel. I'm Jim. You are locked into Bucko Brew, presented by DeFair, powered by DeFair Coffee and Tea. Donardo just texted me, said he'll be on shortly. It is 7:13, so I figured if we go ahead and hit the live button to keep you all from waiting any longer. I thought I was going to have to do another solo show. But we're here. I'll start things off. Let Donardo ease into this. But yeah, let's kind of talk about what we're gonna discuss today. Lots of stuff going on in the Pirates world. I hope all of you had a happy holiday. I haven't had the chance to talk to you guys since I guess it was Monday last Bucko Brew. We didn't do an NSI live last week, so yeah, and then we didn't do the point. So yeah, I'm excited to talk about the Ryan O'Hearn signing that the Pirates had this past week. 2 years, $29 million. Amazingly, the Ryan O'Hearn deal, the largest free agent contract given out by the Pirates to a position player ever. Now, is this a sad, pathetic stat? 2 years, $29 million. That's the largest free agent deal to a position player ever. Yeah, that's pretty sad. But hey, you know what? I'm not going to complain about anything right now because it does feel like the Pirates are finally doing what we've been just begging them to do forever now. Like they're actually being real players in the offseason market. So yeah, I'm excited. So we're going to talk about that Ryan O'Hearn deal a little bit. We're also going to discuss, Kazuma Okamoto. His posting deadline is January 4th, which is very, very soon, Sunday. And so he's got to make a decision in the next week. So we're going to talk about that as well. We're going to talk about maybe some backup options if the Pirates don't land Okamoto. And then also just quickly, just to point out, Andrew Heaney announced his retirement yesterday. So congratulations to the Heen dog, 11 seasons in Major League Baseball, a World Series champion. He didn't have that spectacular of a season for the Pirates last year, but he had like a good, really like a one stretch where he was really good. Right, Donardo? Kind of like
the first 2 months, he was one of the best pitchers in baseball.
Yeah, how you kind of coming in here, and hopefully you'll put together a nice like.
I pulled the reverse Heaney.
Yeah.
But yeah. But for sure, I mean, congrats, Andrew Heaney. Dude, I don't know. I kind of followed through his career. One of those prospects, guys from the Marlins, that I follow. But it's also just kind of crazy that Andrew Heaney has retired. Just in my personal perspective, it's like, geez, he was one of the prospects. I mean, like he and Jose Fernandez kind of came up in the Marlins system, and it's like now Andrew Heaney's retiring. Wow. Anywho,
yeah, 2012 first round pick, Andrew Heaney.
Yeah. But I really did. I liked the signing a lot too, and it was really working out really well until it didn't. But
yeah, we'll talk about like I feel like I don't know if we'll get into it much on this show, but they probably need an Andrew Heaney type signing right after this.
Yeah, one that works out a little more better though.
Yeah, one that maybe works out a bit better. I was saying on Discord, they need somebody who can just put up like 20 starts for him. That's what they need. They need someone who can put up 20 starts. But yeah, let's kind of jump into things. I don't know if you've got the DeFair Coffee and Tea ad read up. We can kind of go over that before we start talking about Ryan O'Hearn. But I'd love to get into this Ryan O'Hearn signing just a little bit. I wasn't on the emergency podcast. I didn't, I wasn't part of Sicko Sound Off. So I'd love to tell you guys my thoughts on this deal. I'm pretty excited about it, but do want to spend just a little bit of time on that before we jump into all this Kazuma Okamoto talk.
Yeah, no, for real. So, of course, to tell you about DeFair is a family and employee-owned and operated business They believe that coffee and tea are one of life's simplest and most accessible pleasures, and when enjoyed thoughtfully, can open your eyes to the here and now. They have 5 locations across the city of Pittsburgh, including their flagship in the heart of Pittsburgh's historic Strip District. Don't forget to stop by the fair's new location, downtown on Penn Avenue, right across from the Benedum. Grab a cup and fuel up on your walk to PNC Park. Mobile ordering is available. Check out their Instagram for more details. And of course, that is defair.coffee. And Jim, as everyone should know by now, but if they don't, how can they save 30%?
Yeah, go to defair.coffee, go online, enter promo code NS930. That's NS930, and you'll get 30% off your order. So no matter how small or big your order is, put that promo code in, save 30%.
There it is.
I saw Cody. Cody was in town today, and he stopped by. He stopped by DeFair, grab some coffee. I think he went to go to Pamela's for breakfast one day with him and Steph, his girlfriend, and yeah, stopped by DeFair, supported the sponsors. Appreciate you, Cody.
Absolutely. Which again, good coffee. I got my newest one. It's called Light Up Night. So there it is.
There you go.
Yes. So let's get on to Ryan O'Hearn, because I would love to hear your thoughts. And of course, now that the initial reaction's over and it's kind of settled in, we can talk a little more about him as well and how this really fits this team. Again, I'm still really excited. Again, I think it's more or less just like, hey, the Pirates are doing real things. This is like what an actual baseball team does every year, and we get to partake in that this time. So it's kind of fun. But yeah, tell us about Ryan O'Hearn.
He's a guy who, you probably knew about him coming up. Like he was a power hitting prospect. I don't think he ever like cracked the top 100 list or anything like that. But like, because he was a first baseman, and he was gonna have to hit to really stick. But came up with the Royals. Had a really nice like first stint in the majors, but then like immediately like dropped off. But like his rookie year, 12 homers in 44 games. Like he arrived and people were like, oh man, this guy's gonna be able to hit for some pop. But then right after that, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, it was pretty bad. He put together some pretty poor performances in Kansas City. And I mean, just up and down from the majors to the minors, majors to the minors. And eventually, at 28 years old, the Royals gave up on the guy. Like, we can't do this anymore. We got to move on. So then he moves to Baltimore in 2023. He attaches to them. And I don't know what happened in Baltimore, DiNardo, but this dude, it all clicked.
Right.
He figured it out at that
change
point.
of scenery.
Because his first year in Baltimore, 118 weighted runs created plus, hit 289, slugged 480, like just a really nice season there. And then the next year in Baltimore, kind of the same thing, another 118 weighted runs created plus, slugged 427. So like the slugging went down a little bit, but like still another really good season for the Orioles. And then this past season, made the all-star team, was like I said, was a 2025 all-star. He raked for Baltimore the first half, got traded to San Diego, had a good last half of the season for the Padres as well. Put up a 3-win season last year, which I don't know if you guys like. 3 wins as a first base / DH / right fielder is like a pretty good accomplishment. But like last year was his best season to date at age 31. He hit 281, an OBP of 366. Like his walk rate just kind of has been climbing these last few years. Slugging percentage 437. He hit 17 homers, 127 weighted runs created plus. The guy is just he is in his prime right now. And it seems to be right in the middle of it. What I like about O'Hearn is like this is the kind of signing that the Pirates just haven't ever really done. Like these kind of guys make a ton of sense. It's not like he's super expensive. He's a good bat. He's just a good hitter right now. I don't think there's anything to worry about this guy. Like, I think like he's going to hit for you next year. Like, no matter what. Is he going to give you a 127 weighted runs created plus? I don't know. Maybe that would be kind of cool. But like, I think he's going to at least give you like 110 plus. Like, he's going to be an above average hitter, regardless. And like a 2-year deal, you're not committing a ton to this guy. It's $14.5 million per year. There's some incentives included in there that can bump it up to 15 million. Like, it's just, this is a good deal. Now the one thing is, like, the Pirates already have a first baseman, right? So like, what do you do there? I don't think they want to move Horwitz to second. So I think O'Hearn is primarily going to play designated hitter. He's probably going to spell Brian Reynolds in right field. Like, he gives you that option where it's like, hey, this is a Brian Reynolds DH day. Cool. Now you don't have to put Alexander Canario in right field. You can put Ryan O'Hearn in right field because he can play that position. So it's the flexibility to do that is nice. And hey, if you want to give Horwitz a day off at DH, or just give him a day off in general, maybe against a lefty, because guess what? Ryan O'Hearn hit lefties last year too. Like, he's not even just a platoon guy. Like, Ryan Hearn can be an everyday player for you. Then he can also plug in and at first base. So I love this signing. Like, he's a guy who makes sense. The money was right. Like, you knew you were gonna get this guy for not a lot. And I mean, $15 million a year for someone who's shown over the last 3 seasons that he's figured it out.
Can I ask you that too? I mean, like, is the money part a little shocking to you in a sense of, like, the Pirates are able to get him for 29.5? I mean, essentially 2 for 30.
No, I don't think it's shocking at all. I think this is probably right where his market was, maybe a little bit less. I mean, the Pirates obviously came in
and say,
yeah, Pirates obviously came in with the best deal. Yeah.
Right. And again, that's why I thought, like, I was kind of taken back a little bit of, like, wow, they were able to land him and still just offer like 2 for 30. They didn't have to. Again, we talk about the Pirates tax in a sense. The Pirates probably have to overpay to get people and such. And he kind of came right about what you expected him to get, or like you said, maybe a little bit less. So that was kind of surprising for me. It was only 2 years the Pirates had to do to get him. And for 15 million, like, yeah, like this contract is set up really nice.
Yeah. MLB trade rumors predicted 2 years, 26 million for O'Hearn. So you do think that, just if that was what the going rate was, they overpaid by $1.5 million per year, so yeah, like I said, I think it's an excellent deal. It's someone that you can plug right into the middle of your lineup and is just an immediate upgrade. Like, and a pretty substantial one at that.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I just wanted to throw this out there too. Now, this is just 1 year of production, but again, comparing like what last year was, the Pirates missed out on Josh Naylor. That's where the whole offseason started with. Oh, here we go. They just missed out on this guy. But when you look at it, Josh Naylor last year, a 3.1 WAR player, a 128 weighted runs created plus. Ryan O'Hearn, a 127 weighted runs created plus, 3 WAR player. Did things a little bit differently, not too much. Of course, Josh Naylor's stolen bases came out of nowhere, but like production wise, very similar to Josh Naylor. You're just getting a little bit older version of it, and again, having to commit to just 2 years to do so. So yeah, again, like this is definitely a skillful player. He's just a very good hitter. I mean, I love it for the Pirates team. I mean, he's just a dude that can just do everything pretty darn good.
Yeah. And I said the fact that and for the most part throughout his career, he's really not faced lefties at all. 2023, it was a decent hitter against lefties, but you look at the sample size and it was just tiny. 2024, same thing. It's hard to draw a conclusion. He had 42 at bats against lefties, but last year, like, they actually let him play some against left. He got 97 at bats, 109 plate appearances. And he had a 135 weighted runs created plus against lefties last year. So he actually hit better against lefties last year than he did righties. I don't think that's going to be the norm for him, but I think it does show that, like, this guy isn't someone who is just incapable of hitting lefties, where, some left-handed power hitters are kind of known to be like that. So that's another really good sign here that I like. I'm not sure what the plan is going to be to hit him against lefties all the time, but I think he showed last year that at least he's not like a pumpkin up there against him. Like you can have him hit against lefties, and he's not going to be completely incapable of doing it.
Right. 100%. I'm all good with the signing for
there's some comments here too. Just, I mean, if we just want to hit on these, Paul. So it's the writing on the wall that they are not bringing Kutch back. Ira, and what happens with Kutch now? Noel, I think Kutch is gone. So I'll say this: this move doesn't give me the warm and fuzzies that Andrew McCutchen is coming back, because this is your primary designated hitter with the way that this roster looks right now. Like, barring an injury, Ryan O'Hearn is going to be your DH most nights. So what that means for Kutch is there's probably a spot for him, but it's tight. Like, they've got to do a really good job of filling out the rest of the roster. And if he does come back, he's a platoon player.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Andrew McCutchen isn't getting in this lineup against right-handed pitching right now.
Which, like, to some level is fine. I mean, that was something I was talking about. Like, we both kind of were, like, he shouldn't get there's no possible reason Andrew McCutchen should get the plate appearances he's had over the past few years. Like, we do want him back, but to limit him to some level, this is going to really limit him. That's the difference. This is going to put him is he going to get like 300 plate appearances on the year opposed to 450? Is he ready for that role? Actually, I don't know if 300's the right amount. Like, is it going to be like 250 for him? Because you got to figure, like, Horwitz gets a day off for being, a left-hand pitcher. O'Hearn comes in there, but maybe that's the day that Reynolds goes to DH too. I don't know, man. I don't know. But it's like, if Kutch comes back, it's going to be like, okay, there's a lefty on the mound, you're up.
And like I said, that's what's if Kutch has a spot on this roster, it's to play against left-handed pitchers. Like, that's basically it. Because you look at the other options, and like, you'd love to get Brandon Lowe sometime at designated hitter too. Like, you probably don't want to trot Brandon Lowe out at second base 150 times.
Right.
If you can get 120, 130 out of him, great. But like, you also still want Brandon Lowe's bat in the lineup. And so when Brandon Lowe's not at second, you need him at designated hitter. When Brian Reynolds isn't in right field, you want him at designated hitter. And otherwise, when those two guys aren't at designated hitter, like, you want Ryan O'Hearn there because of that. So yeah, this isn't this isn't a great sign if you're looking for, if you're reading the tea leaves here and you're like, what's Kutch happening? What's going to happen with Kutch here? The roster, all of a sudden, you basically just added another, right fielder, first baseman only. So like, he doesn't have O'Hearn's, he can play those positions, but like, he doesn't have a ton of position flexibility here. He can technically play left field, but I don't know if you want to throw him out there
especially
too often.
Right.
So then you start thinking, okay, well, you need an infielder, you need a catcher, you need a fourth outfielder. Depending on how versatile that infielder is and how comfortable you feel with them playing shortstop, or how comfortable you feel that outfielder being able to play center field, like, it starts like that spot for Andrew McCutchen becomes tighter and tighter and tighter. Like I said, I think there's still a way to get him onto this roster, like, if that's what you really want to do. But it's tight. It's tight now.
I agree.
I don't know.
I don't know how it's going to go. I mean, I don't think the relationship is all warm and fuzzy either between the two sides. So I really don't know where to go. I also didn't expect and think this team was capable and was willing to add the pieces that they're adding. Because again, my whole thing too last year was like, why are we even entertaining him? He's one of the best hitters. There's so many ways to go up, and they've been doing that. They've been going up. So I'm okay. Honestly, I'm okay if this roster is built competently that like they actually can't fit Andrew McCutchen on this team. I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know. At this point in time, though, you're for sure. Like there is a spot. The spot's a very like, hey, Andrew McCutchen, like you're a pirate. You're one of the dudes. We brought you back. We want you back, but it's like you're going to be on the bench, coming in as a pinch hitter at times. Limited DH against just lefties. You and I both felt, and Andrew McCutchen seems like he wants to. Like if he could play the field once a week, that would be a plus. I just don't think the Pirates have the intentions of doing that either.
Yeah. We'll see.
If he could play right field to give Brian Reynolds that DH day, there's a spot. There's absolutely a spot for him.
Yeah. I say it's going to be interesting to see what they do next, because I don't know if Andrew McCutchen wants to be that guy.
Right.
If he is, then like they can probably figure it out. If the Pirates want Andrew McCutchen back too, that's the other thing. Like they may see more value in other guys, which I guess my line of thinking here is like Andrew McCutchen's my favorite player ever. Like love the guy. So like personally, I would prefer Andrew McCutchen play for the Pirates. Like my favorite player. If you're not going to bring Andrew McCutchen back, then what that means is just you better show me that the roster is better off without him. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Because if you go out there and you say, hey, you know what, we weren't able to find that fourth outfielder or whatever, and so they're just carrying an extra Jack Sawinski on this team, then it's like you could have figured out how to bring Kutch back, right?
Right.
But if it's like, hey, you know what, we signed this guy, there's no room for Kutch anymore, then I can accept that as being like, okay, I'm cool with that. Like you made an upgrade here. But if there's no clear upgrade to Andrew McCutchen and on that last bench spot, then I would prefer him to be back. Listen, it takes two to tango. Kutch also needs to want to be that fourth bench bat. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. A lot of offseason left. I don't know how much interest there's going to be in Andrew McCutchen, just because, yeah, I mean, he's an aging DH. How many teams are going to want to give Andrew McCutchen a ton of at bats? I'm not sure. And he's not necessarily a great fit here right now.
Right. Anymore. Which again is a good thing. It's something I didn't really expect and think that could be done. But at this point in time, with the fit, yeah. And especially Jim, if they go and get this guy that we're going to talk about in Okamoto. Because the Pirates get him, like they've put together a very competent offense across the board.
If you go out there and you make an immediate huge upgrade to third base, what that does is it strengthens your bench, right? Because then it probably moves Nick Gonzalez to your bench, like, and you probably slide Triolo over to short, or you do the opposite and Gonzalez is your short and Triolo's your super utility guy, which is what we've been begging Jared Triolo to be this whole time, right?
Right.
So like Jared Triolo moves from that everyday player to the super utility guy. Obviously you got your backup catcher. There's still some outfield spots here that are up for grabs. Like I don't think Joe Stinson Garcia is necessarily going to be ready opening day. And I don't know if it's a good idea to make a 20. I mean, actually, you know what? I think Joe Stinson Garcia's birthday. Well, it was just this past month. So 23 years old. Like he doesn't have a ton of playing time above AA. So like, do you want to get him more at bats? Do you want to get him everyday at bats, or do you want him to just be Jake Mangum or O'Neal Cruz's platoon? Like, I guess it depends. I think the window is open for him to make the opening day roster, but you're most likely Garcia's most likely path to being a major leaguer right now is platooning with Mangum or Cruz.
Mm-hmm.
And so then it's a matter of like, is that who you want him to be right now? I don't know. You know,
right.
So I feel like adding someone who can play the outfield would be nice. But no, back to third base. Yeah, Kazuma Okamoto. His posting date is Sunday, which means he has to sign on Sunday. Which quick tangent, Donardo. How cool are deadlines? Like, I wish there was a way to figure out how to just put a deadline on free agency in general. And I was talking with Tyler about this last night and just like, because right now, Major League Baseball, the offseason, it is the worst offseason of all major sports. Like it just drags on and on and on. Every other sport, as soon as free agency hits, it's like a rush. Like it's insane. Baseball, you don't see that. But deadlines make things kind of cool. Like we knew that Murakami had to sign by a certain date. So it was everybody was talking about Murakami. We now know that Okamoto has to sign by Sunday. So what are we going to be talking about all week? Kazuma Okamoto. It makes us talk about stuff. Whereas like everybody else, they go as long as they want without signing.
Let me throw in a counter though to that. I mean, because is it cool? Like, it's kind of cool. Like, it's kind of cool knowing things. So, like, we can set up and say, like, yeah, at least we know by the next week he's going to sign. So we can really talk and hone in about, right? When would you say the deadline should be?
Well, I think they should, like, almost make a tier list. And there's some
So, like,
player association.
Free agent type A has.
Yeah, like break free agency into, like, an A, B, and C group.
Right. So, like, when would A hit?
Winter meetings.
Okay.
You got to sign the A people by winter meetings.
When's B?
January 1st.
Okay. So, sorry, free agent type C's.
Free agent type C's, you got to wait.
But who cares, air quotes, about them, right? What are you doing from January to February? And I say this because, like, here's the downside to that, right? Like, yeah, there's deadlines, things can happen. But, like, this is what makes the MLB offseason just more difficult than others. Like, think about NFL. You go in the offseason and it's draft mode. It's free agency. Like, you have things that happen in the offseason where MLB's draft happens in season. So, like, you lose that. You know what I mean? Like, there's still content throughout the offseason that you can talk about and discuss. Because, like, again, like, you can talk about the draft all day long. And again, it's also different because those players mean something next year. Where like the MLB draft is like, well, okay, in 5 years, this guy might be something. I think that's what hinders baseball. So I kind of agree, but a little bit is like after the winter meetings, interest starts going down. And then especially after January 1st, like no one's going to care about the offseason. What are you talking about, Jim, on January 20th that you didn't talk about on January 10th?
On January 20th, we can talk about the B free agents.
No, it's the C.
Yeah, the C free agents. So
and
Andrew McCutchen, C free agent. Yeah. There you go.
So excuse me. So I guess that's just that will be off season is just naturally going to be a lot different than other ones.
Oh, I get it.
I get
I'm
that,
just saying
but to some level, it helps stretch it out. That's, I guess, where I'm coming into play.
I don't want it stretched out. That's my thing.
But our shows would be god awful on January 20th, on February 10th.
Donardo, we had 6,000 people watch a Joe Stinson Garcia emergency trade podcast. If we sign some Joe Blow reliever on January 20th and we have an emergency pod, people are going to want it. like we're sickos. It's 7:40 on December 29th, and we're here talking about Kazuma Okamoto, which probably isn't going to happen, but we're gonna just pray that it does.
There it is. All right.
So back to Okamoto.
If it does happen.
Yeah. Here's the other thing too. Some guys, I am begging all of you to have a little bit of media literacy going forward, right? If someone tweets from an account that doesn't have a name, right? It's just a burner account for something, or like if you can't put your name behind something, like
If
don't take it serious. That's what like don't do it. So yeah,
can I add
guys,
in something too?
can we just
If the picture is just a fatter version of Jeff passing with glasses, it's probably not true. if if the picture is MS Paint of ice cream, it's probably not true.
yeah, just come on, guys. Come on, guys. Now, if it's just if it's for fun, like I get it, it's for fun, but I think some people take these things like way too serious.
Well, the
And
problem is, yeah, I mean, some like, oh, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. Let's take this to a
yeah,
level, and then it gets onto
yeah,
Facebook,
yeah,
and
yeah. I
then
think what it is that as a society, we it's hard for certain people to view things, uh, whether it's true or not, and they just believe everything, or I don't know, but
stop raining on our hopium, Jim. It's all we have had for
the
3
Pirates
decades.
were most likely never close to signing Kazuma Okamoto. Now, with that being said, there are real sources and real people who do link the Pirates to Okamoto. The Pirates are certainly in on him, so that's why we're talking about him. He's a great fit. This team obviously needs a third baseman. He plays third base, and by all accounts, like from a money standpoint, like it's not like he's like at the Schwarber level where it's like, oh my God, the Pirates are in on this guy. Like, no, like he's going to sign a contract that looks probably reasonable. It's probably going to be in the 4 years, 70-ish $1 million range, give or take a few million. And you're going to look at it and say, well, the Pirates probably could have done that, right? The problem here is that Kazuma Okamoto is a free agent. He's from Japan. There seems to be interest in some West Coast teams, the Padres, the Angels. So now it's like, okay, let's sell Kazuma Okamoto on why he should come to Pittsburgh over San Diego, which is probably the most beautiful city to live in
Right.
America, or Anaheim, which Anaheim sucks. Like Anaheim's the worst. They got Disneyland, which isn't as good as Disney World, so Pittsburgh's closer there. Um, but like Anaheim stinks. And the Angels, who knows what the Angels are doing? I don't know what the Angels are doing. Nobody knows what the Angels are doing. They are a dumpster fire right now. So, yeah, sell Kazuma Okamoto on Pittsburgh. Like, hey, we just added 2 bats. You could be this third bat. You coming in makes this lineup legitimate. Like if the Pirates sign Kazuma Okamoto, Donardo, I go from like right now, I'm at the point where this offseason is going way better than I expected. And I think this team is roughly like a 500 team right now. Just maybe like the 50th percentile outcome of this team is, low 80s win total. But if you squint hard enough, you can see certain things developing that makes this team a playoff team. If Okamoto gets put into the mix here, my expectations are immediately raised to like, I think we're a playoff team. Like this team is going to be competing for a playoff spot. If that's the case, it puts a stamp on the offseason, says like, hey, you know what? We were serious when we came out there and had that worst press conference of all time where Travis Williams was just stumbling over words and threw out some insane quotes. But turns out he was actually telling the truth this time. Like that's the kind of offseason it turns into if you can get Okamoto.
I'm with you, like 100%. Like if this team were to stop today, I'd be disappointed that they didn't go further all in, because like what this year matters in the sense of is this year is playoffs or bust essentially. Like you have to make the playoffs. And where I think this team is right now is, could it make the playoffs? Yes, it could. I'm not betting on it. I don't feel safe to say that it will make the playoffs, but it could. It could, because you know what? Connor Griffin comes up and he is that dude. He's like a 5-WAR player, right? Or Garcia is ready and he comes in, he hits right away. Jared Triolo wasn't a fluke. He was more of that second half Jared Triolo, right? That August 1st and above and beyond Jared Triolo than he has been his career Jared Triolo. The pitching stayed healthy. It all stayed healthy. The talent was there. You know what I mean? So it's one of those situations where not everything, but most things need to go right. I don't think this team was truly as bad as a 72-win team last year, right? And they've improved, but they still would need things to break for them. Getting Okamoto, like you mentioned, like now that looks like, okay, not everything has to go perfectly. There's a lot of options here. There's a lot of good talent, developing talent. It makes me feel very good about this team and its playoff chances. Because I also think too, if anything, it's also a team that should at least be able to stay afloat till July 31st. Think about 2024 and add, but just don't make the Brian De La Cruz ads, actually add if they need to. It's it's definitely a team that I think should be in contention about all of the year.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. Especially when you look at what the rest of the NL Central is doing. The Cardinals are obviously, trying to, Cardinals are trying to reload, but it seems like they're not where they want to be. The Reds are over here making the moves that you'd expect the Pirates to make. They're going out there and getting Dane Myers and JJ Bleday, for $1.4 million. The Reds are doing exactly what the Pirates have been doing for the last 5 years. And the Pirates are doing what we've been just begging the Pirates to do.
Can we touch on that just slightly too? I want to, because you're 100% correct. This is what I love about people on Twitter, whomever, want to talk about this in a certain way. Yes, we are talking favorably of the Pirates now. Do you know why? Because they're doing what they're asking them to do for 3 years now. When you do things well and correctly, right, you might get talked about in a better light. Yes, the Reds, what the Reds just did in JJ Bleday and Dane Myers is that's the perfect Pirates 2020 whatever offseason where we would just trash them to some level. In a vacuum, I can see maybe blah, 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 blah. But does this do anything? No. Yeah, the Reds deserve to get trashed right now for this offseason. The NS9 version of the Reds should be going off on them right now. Deservingly so. And and talking up, look, the Pirates can do this. Why can't you, Cincinnati? So yeah, I want to put that in perspective. Why we've been talking favorably of the Pirates? Because they're doing things they should be doing. They're doing things that we said they should be doing. So yes, thank you for listening to us. Not literally, but figuratively, and doing what we said you should be doing. So yes, the Pirates are actually doing what the Reds were doing a few years ago. We were talking about the Reds saying, look what they're doing.
Yeah, I think the Reds have done a semi-decent job of maybe adding to their bullpen with Caleb Ferguson, and they do have a good rotation, but the Reds need offense, and they've addressed it so far by adding JJ Bleday and Dane Myers.
Yes.
Whereas the Pirates need offense, and they've gotten Justinson Garcia, Jake Mangum, Brandon Lowe, and Ryan O'Hearn. So it's the two off seasons that these two teams are having are complete polar opposites right now. And yeah, we're used to being on the other end where we're getting the Dane Myers and the JJ Bledays, the JJ Bledays who got non-tendered by the A's. That's the kind of moves that we've been expecting this team to make. Right. And the Pirates are finally going out there and getting real major leaguers. And yeah, it's exciting. I don't know how to act right now. It is crazy. I don't know what to do with my hands, Bernardo. The Pirates are in here. They have added 2 All-Stars in the last week. And I'm not talking about 2019 All-Stars. I'm talking 2025 All-Stars. They've added to this lineup in the last week, 2 of them. So,
well, if you didn't watch the Ryan O'Hearn,
they're doing exactly what we want them to do.
If you didn't watch the Ryan O'Hearn emergency pod, Neil showed you what to do with your hands. You got to put mittens on them because it's the winter of Ben.
Yeah, it really is. So yeah, I'm excited right now. The Pirates are killing this offseason. Now, are they done? No. If they were to stop right now, I'd say, you know what? you did more than I expected. I still don't think you did enough, but you did more than I expected. But if they can go out here and if they can sign Kazuma Okamoto, or maybe they pivot and Suarez is the guy who I really want, but we haven't really heard anything about Suarez lately in the news at all. But if they can go out here and they can address third base and make an immediate big impact to that position, I'm going to show up to spring training wearing Ben Sherrington, like thank you Ben Sherrington shirts, like that, that's where I'm going to be at.
You know what?
I won't do that.
I might. Yeah, we print them. That might be the newest design, because not only Ben Sherrington but Bob Nutting. Because think about this: if they add Okamoto, you're talking about. This is sad to say, but also something I never thought I'd be talking about. You're entertaining $110 million payroll. Not only do they break 100, they're breaking 110. Yeah. And if they add another Andrew Heaney type pitcher, like you mentioned, like 150, like this team is, air quotes, spending money. All the stuff that you heard at the beginning of the offseason about, hey, I think the Pirates and Marlins are going to be one of those teams that's going to be spending some money. We've heard about Pirates, they're going to be spending money, and it's like, well, guys, they kind of have to spend $30 million just to get to where they are. Well, they've done that. Like they're there today. Anything that they spend after today is more than what the payroll was last year, in a year that attendance decreased, which is why we mentioned how like payroll's probably going to stay the same, like at best. So them going out there and spending even more is technically, truly investing in themselves, which we've been saying time and time again. Like, just invest into your product and maybe people will come out there. So like, yes, if they get an Okamoto, again, you imagine it's probably like 15, 16 million-ish or more, maybe something around that line. They're there.
A $16 million deal puts this
probably
payroll
entertaining
right
another
around,
starting pitcher to some level.
Yeah, I mean, a $16 million deal puts his payroll right around, like right around 110.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like that's just what we've been begging for this whole time. Like, we haven't been asking to be the Dodgers. Like, we haven't been asking to be the Braves or the Mets. Like, just be the Brewers and the Reds. Like, that's what we've been begging for. And if they can go out there and address this with a meaningful, impactful hitter, and then add in a veteran fifth starter, like you said, like they are there. That's where they're at. So yeah, I'm with you. I have no complaints so far this offseason. I hope they're not done. I don't think they're done. Okamoto would be a huge get for this team and the way that this lineup is currently constructed. He's a right-handed hitter, which I think they kind of need right now.
Yeah.
They sort of need a righty because they're getting a little lefty heavy with the signings of O'Hearn and the addition of Brandon Lowe. So like a righty bat would help, somebody you can plug in there to kind of break up all those lefties. And yeah, by all accounts, Okamoto seems to have a relatively high floor. Again, we don't really know exactly how his numbers are going to translate, but like the dude didn't strike out at all in Japan comparing to like Murakami, who just signed with the White Sox. But I mean, Zips projects 20 homers from Okamoto, projects a 791 OPS, a 117 weighted runs created plus. If that's what he can give you, then like that's a hitter that the Pirates haven't had from the right side of the line, from the right side of the plate since Starling Marte.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that, I think
probably,
who's the Pirates' last right-handed hitter with a WRC plus over 115?
I mean, it's got to be.
It was probably Starling Marte. Like, that's how long the Pirates have gone without a right-handed hitter.
I mean, I guess Reynolds, per se, he's a switch hitter.
Yeah, I mean, he's not, you don't count
but
him.
From the right side. Yeah. No, what I was going to add here too, I mean, but what you're talking about though, Jim, is you're talking about the other corner spot being occupied by Ryan O'Hearn.
Yeah.
Again, like there was a lot of red flags. We already discussed this with Murakami with me, right? whatever. That's past that. Like the one thing about Okamoto is he seems very safe. He's not gonna go out there and give you 30, 40, 50 bombs. He's just gonna do things, hopefully, if it all translates, really well. He has some power, like O'Hearn has some power. Not dripping with power, but he should be able to hit 15, 20 home runs, no problem over here. He should hit for a decent average, get on base, not strike out a ton. So, like, he should just be a very good hitter. And again, that's what the Pirates need more of. I'm all in. I mean, he's going to lengthen this lineup, give this team a lot of options, and especially, again, like you mentioned, this team, I think, desperately needs another righty.
Yep. If the Pirates can't sign Okamoto, there were some rumors this week that they are interested in Yoán Moncada.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about this for a little bit. I don't want to spend too much time on it. I am a huge Yoán Moncada fan. Love the guy. Like, huge, like big fan of the guy. One of my favorite non-Pittsburgh Pirates that are out there. I think he's cooked. Like, he just, I don't want to have, like, this is when we talk about the free agent, the offseason the Pirates are having this year. Signing a Yoán Moncada at this point would be something that the old Ben Pirates would do. He can hit. I'll say that. Like, Moncada can still hit. He's shown, last year, 289 plate appearances, 117 weighted runs created plus, crushed righties, did a really good job versus righties, and he's a switch hitter. The problem with Moncada is the dude just cannot stay healthy at all. 84 games last year, 12 games the year before, 92 the year before that. He also defensively took a huge dive last year, and some of that may have been due to an injury, the injury playing a part there. But like, his defense was atrocious. What do you think about Moncada as your backup option here if you can't land Okamoto or Suarez?
He's kind of got to be like plan D, I would imagine. At least in my perspective.
I guess my question is, who would you rather start at third base, Jared Triolo or Yoán Moncada?
That's where it comes down to. I think, obviously, put it this way. Moncada has the ceiling. In the perfect world, I would want Moncada to be there because, like, I would say if Moncada, if you can give me 120 games at third base plus, then I'd be okay with the signing. It's just, I think if you sign him, you're probably getting 120 games at third base from Jared Triolo. And it's like, well, then what did we do? And that's kind of where I'm at here. I mean, just like, I like the upside in Moncada. I do. Like you said, especially because of the bat. Like, I think he's a skillful player. I'm hopeful that the defense, because again, also the defense was terrible. For as good as Ke'Bryan Hayes was at third base defensively, he's the exact, that's how bad he is, right? You're going to be talking about he's the worst defender in all of baseball type defense at third base. But the bat plays, and it's like, does it even out? Probably it should, but does he also play enough games that it matters? And that's where it just comes down to. It's like, it's a risk. There's definitely upside there. It's a medium. What are you going to pay him? Like $5, $6, $7 million probably to get him on. So like, it's not cheap. It's not like a low risk, high reward type. It's probably like a medium risk, high reward. Actually, it's kind of a high risk, high reward still, regardless, any way you put it. Yeah, that's just where I'm at with the Pirates. It's like, it's not a good fit because the Pirates need stability. They need to have less of, what if this breaks? What if that breaks? What if this breaks? Then we're good. And Moncada kind of fits in that. He's more of this question mark on the team, where Murakami, even though he's a question mark, is more of a safety net. Suarez is still a safety net, even though you feel like his production is going to drop off some. Even some other guys that might be out there, like looking at a trade, like even like an Alec Boehm or something, with Yoán Moncada, he could certainly be better than Alec Boehm, but I'm betting on Alec Boehm. And yeah.
Yeah. It's
risky.
This is a move that I would have wanted the Pirates to make maybe 2 years ago.
Perfect.
Where it's like, you know what? This is worth the risk.
Yep.
Like the upside is worth the risk. I feel like the stakes are too high right now that taking a gamble like this is maybe is maybe not worth it. Ideally, they address third base with Okamoto or Suarez. Those are still the two clear-cut top options for me. Just because more of a sure thing. Like even Suarez, the ceiling on Suarez is astronomical, and the floor on Suarez is still probably like if he gives you his worst season ever, he's still going to hit 20 homers, right? Like that's still going to happen. Moncada is interesting because I do still think he can hit. Like that's the thing there. Like I think he can hit and he can hit righties, which obviously this team could use all the help they could get against right-handed pitchers. But yeah, like he's kind of proven time and time again he just can't stay out on the field. And I know injuries are things that are sometimes like not predictive. So yeah, I'm a pass here. Like if you can't land Suarez or Okamoto, I'd almost rather take those resources and put them somewhere else. Or you make a shot at the trade market, like maybe you go after one of the Mets guys. Like I'd rather have any of the 3 Mets guys, than Moncada at this point, I think. Just because they could at least play. Like you at least count on them to be there.
Right.
And they may not they probably have similar upside too, to be honest with you. So yeah, like I'm staying away. I'm staying away from Moncada. I don't even know if he's a plan C or a plan D for me. Like I would take it if I had to, but like I'd really prefer not. I'd prefer to just stay away at this point.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's Murakami. I'm sorry, Okamoto, Suarez, trade, and then it's like, all right, Moncada, you're still around. We've struck out everywhere else. Let's take the risk because, like, I want to add this too. I mean, there's also risk on the sense of production. Like, he is a talented. He's been. I mean, he was a top prospect. He was given all that money, like all this for a reason. But it's not as if his career has been too stable either. Like he was a 5-win player at one point in time, looked really, really good. And he followed up being a 0.9 WAR player with a 94 weighted runs created plus, just 231 plate appearances. I get it, again, the injury part. But he comes and follows that up the next year, a 120 weighted runs created plus, then a 76 and 433 plate appearances, followed by a 99 with 387 the year after. So like production also hasn't always steadily, like he hasn't always steadily been a good hitter. It's just he doesn't see the field. Sometimes also he's not a good hitter. So like he's had a very up and down. And look, again, like there's upside. There's certainly talent there. I could absolutely see him being a good hitter this year, but he also could just not be on the field. He also could just not be a good hitter this year. I don't know. So, with a lot of uncertainty, a lot of risk that comes with him. Yeah, he's way down there on the list of options. Now, I'd rather sign him than not sign anybody because, like, at least he gives you another body and maybe it will happen. There is the safety net, at least of Jared Trillo on her team still to play third base. That could get better with, Moncada. You're hopeful of it. But yeah, I think I would much rather have something better than Jared Trillo being that super utility. And then let's go out there and make the playoffs, not be hopeful about we could.
Yeah. I think we're in agreement here.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all I got. That's all we got. I mean, as far as I said, O'Hearn signing huge. Just keep, like I said, the momentum right now is great. Keep this offseason going. There's still a couple moves to be made, but if they're able to go out there and add one more hitter and I think they need to add a starting pitcher now at this point. If they're able to accomplish those two things, like this team goes into spring training looking better than I would have ever imagined them.
Man, I'm telling you, like I think to me the perfect offseason at this point in time is Okamoto and like Jose Quintana. If they were to get those two players, I'm elated. I'm saying, wow. And like you feel good. You feel good about the lineup for sure. And adding another type like a Quintana or someone, something similar. They don't have to go out there and spend a ton of money. This team has shown time and time again. And again, the talent of the pitching staff also, what they need is guys going to give innings, quality innings. $5, $6, $7 million deal on a pitcher should easily do that. You feel like, again, like you trust this pitching staff also. Like there's true depth now. There's certainly talent. Like you feel good on all facets of this, the hitting, the defense, the starting pitching, the bullpen. If they add another bullpen arm, also I would take that. But I feel good about all facets of this team.
Yeah, I'm with you. Go out there and get a veteran starting pitcher. I feel like people, here's a question, like, what about Verlander instead of Quintana? I just feel like the value's there for a left-handed starting pitcher with this team. You can go out there and get a lefty like off the bargain bin, and because they play in PNC Park half the time,
yep,
they just play better than their numbers. Like, and you have seen that's kind of been the route that this team has gone for a really long time now. Is, hey, go out there and get a cheap lefty starter, and they're going to be better than they are probably because of the ballpark you play in. So
they play up.
Yeah, the value is just a little bit better on lefties. Now, having Verlander would be cool. I think he's still got some decent stuff, and but I feel like the lefty is going to be the route they go. I also feel like Verlander is going to sign like a 1-year, $15 million deal just because that's
also, yeah,
he's Verlander. So, but yeah, what do we have the rest of this week? We've got hopefully something coming out Wednesday. We won't have NS9 live, and then we'll have the point coming Friday, and hopefully we got an emergency podcast this week too.
Hopefully, at least by Sunday, right? So yeah, that's kind of the plan. New Year's is happening this week, so 2026 is literally around the corner. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm gonna keep it there.
Yeah, I am too.
So, yeah, good stuff. So if we don't see anyone, we'll have hopefully something. But if we don't actually see you Wednesday, we'll see you on the point Friday.
Yeah, we'll see you next year.
I hate it. I knew it. I'm like, damn it, this is gonna actually our last show. That's why I stopped myself, because like, oh shit.
We will see you next year.
I hate you, Jim. I hate you. All right, guys. Well, I love you. So hit that like button if you love us back. Ignore what Jim just said. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed also. Do all the good fun stuff. But yes, we'll see you guys later. Fun stuff. Good stuff happening in Pirates Nation. Screw you, Reds, you silly, stupid, low-level, pathetic team.
Poverty Reds.
Poverty franchise. All right, we're out. Bye-bye.
See you guys. All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in, whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube. If you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.